Welcome back to the You're Show, where we help entrepreneurs live their best lives. I'm your host, Justin You're, and today I want to share some advice that I got from Gary Vee in person. Now, I actually got the chance to attend an event called Grow with Video Live. It was essentially a social media event for entrepreneurs trying to make money and grow their brands with their social media. And Gary Vee was one of the keynote speakers. So he gave a lot of different kinds of advice, but the one piece of advice that really stuck with me was this. He mentioned that if there's any type of friction with the content that you make, it's the wrong kind of content. And the reason why it stuck so hard with me is because for the past 20 months now, I've been making real estate investing content. I've been teaching people how to flip houses, how to buy rental properties, and just make money in real estate investing overall. Now, the topic itself, I'm very comfortable with. I do like in talking about. However, I realized that when he said, if there's friction, there's a problem, I realized I had some friction when I was making my videos. And the friction wasn't the topic itself. I think for most people, that's where a lot of the friction comes from. They're trying to choose a topic that they're not an expert in, that they're just choosing to make the most money in, and that's a big problem. They should just talk about what they are passionate about. And over time, it works. But that wasn't my problem. My problem was the delivery of that kind of content. So I think my topic was perfectly fine with me. I enjoy talking about real estate investing. I enjoy helping people make money in real estate investing. However, I realized that when he said that about friction, how I was making my videos, I had a lot of friction. I was very nervous for the videos. I wasn't just talking to the camera like I was talking to a friend. I was trying to script too much of my stuff. And I'm sure the camera felt it. I'm sure the people felt it when they're watching on the other end. And now when I make videos, I just try to talk to the camera like it's a person. And it took a long time for me to feel that, because even now, this room right here, it's an empty room, even if it doesn't sound like an empty room. I'm looking at a camera, no one else in the room, and I can still talk to the camera kind of like I'm talking to a friend. And that was the biggest thing that I took away. I realized that there was so much friction in how I was making the content. And so I took a little break from social media just to kind of think about everything he said, about all the different things I learned from that event. And I try to think of a way to just make content that had no friction for me. And what I ended up doing is I just scripted way less. All I did was I scripted a beginning for the introduction of any video, and I had a very end, like a conclusion, the call to action, or whatever I said at the end of my videos. In the middle, I might have had a couple bullet points of what I wanted to talk about, but for the most part, my videos transformed from these like very scripted, robotic feeling videos to just me. And you fully felt my personality, how I was, and that's where I felt there was pretty much no friction. I just took Gary's advice and I said, okay, I don't want any friction in the videos that I make. And it's not even friction in the sense of like hard work. It's friction in the sense of like it's hard to make. Hard to make not because I don't want to do it, but because the process that I had to make these videos was hard for me. And so I think I want to let you guys know that if you're making content yourself, and I recommend for you to make content, think of that advice. Think of, if you're planning to make content, what would be the best path for the least amount of resistance? That was essentially the message that Gary sent. Now, if you want to do that, you just have to find a topic that you are truly passionate about and talk about it. And you can talk about these things and exactly how you talk. You don't have to fake any type of personality. You don't have to be a Gary Vee. You don't have to be this loud, extravagant kind of person. Like, you can be your personality. You can be super calm. You can be calm like this voice. Or you can be super loud like a Gary Vee in his personality. So it just depends on yourself. Just be yourself. And over time, you will just find your voice. And you'll find that if you chose the right niche or topic, you will have so much less friction in what you're doing when you're trying to create the content. Because the advice that Gary gave, it came from his experience over the past decade and more of seeing other influencers, seeing all these different content creators burn out because they're talking about the wrong things or because there is too much friction in how they're delivering their content. He saw that firsthand of so many people falling out and burning out. And I've actually had the chance to talk to a lot of friends about this in the content creation space, a lot of influencers. And a lot of them said they took massive breaks because they felt that burnout. And so they ended up switching to a different niche or different topic that they actually wanted to talk about so that they didn't feel the burnout. Like one of my buddies, a lot of his content was based on just entertainment. So he made a lot of funny videos on YouTube and he grew really fast. He got an audience of over 400,000 people, but then he took a massive break because he wasn't enjoying it. And it's when you take the breaks that I think they can help, but they can hurt you if it's for the wrong reason. If you're experiencing the burnout, it could help you in the sense of letting you understand that you might be talking about the wrong thing now. And maybe things change for you as you make content. Everyone has different phases of life. You might be in that phase where you're talking about a certain topic because you really love it, and eventually you just want to talk about something else because you're into that. And when that happens, make the transition. Make the transition not because your audience wants it, because you don't even know if they do. They might not. But you're going to enjoy exactly what you're going to be talking about. And that's the biggest part. And that's the biggest lesson I got from Gary Vee at this event. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, I want you to connect with me on social media. I'd love to hear your feedback and just any guests that you also want me to potentially interview. You can find all my social media links in the description below. Peace.